Devin. We've only met in person one time. You remember last time?
Yeah.
When was it?
Was it at one of the events, like one of my events?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was one of it wasn't your personal event, but it was at an event for this organization, and Dee Dee was there, and you hosted it.
Yes.
I forgot who was over it, but they were pretty popular, but they haven't been posting lately. It's like this organization to bring events together. And they were popping, and then they just kind of fell off.
Oh, got it. Master Connector.
Probably so. Something like that.
Yeah.
It was a woman, and she used to always send out these surveys. How did you like this event? Da-da-da.
Yeah, Faye.
I think that,
for Master Connector.
Yeah.
No, Faye is dope. She is on to bigger, better things.
Oh, really?
I mean, I know that she's still... I can't say exactly what she has up her sleeve for Master Connector, or I know she has Access Consulting and all of these things, but Faye is everywhere. She is dope. Yeah, so I remember we met at the Master Connector event.
It was a Connector event, but for some reason I feel like it was something else. But guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Today I have an amazing guest. She is someone who I've been following for over a year right now, because I think that was the last time this event was. And you want to tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Devin Wilmott Johnson. I am a brand strategist and event producer. I do all things making your vision come to life through visual representation, branding, creative strategy. And I also am an operations coach, so I do help in that regard too for businesses and brands. And then, event production is like you said, where a lot of people see me when I'm like working behind the scenes in different events. And then founder of Girls Trip Society. So we are a community of ambitious women. So we also host pop-up events. We just launched our nonprofit. Nice. So that's what I've been doing is events. I've been moving more so in the music space right now for events. Yeah, like concerts, festivals.
Oh, okay, things. Behind the scenes. Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that because I've been definitely going into the music space a little bit with events. So,
and you still took time to come to my little podcast.
This ain't a little podcast. Look, you got a whole situation. I am inspired. God. You have the plant from the uplight. Girl. This is how you do a podcast.
Yeah, it's growing. The plants may not grow, but the podcast is definitely growing. I just have to say that I'm always like my friend said, she has this cool clothing line called True Artist, and she's always looking for dope friends, dope people to collect. She's a dope friend. Brianna Mac, do you know her?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
She's one of my favorite designers, local designers in Dallas, and you need to have another line because I need some more clothes. Shout out to Brianna Mac.
I want to see them.
Yeah, it's amazing. You will love it. But anyway, when I saw you, first of all, I was like, oh my God, because I'm an MC too, and you were MCing on the mic. I was like, who's that voice? I do a lot of, talent scouting. And when I saw you, you were so in your zone. But what I really, really admired you for, you were kind. You were nice. You are nice, and you were very approachable, but you were very focused on your job too. So I just want you to know, if there's any doubt in your mind that you don't have a nice presence, as far as personality, I mean, you're very nice, dressed and everything. But I mean, to me, we just talked about this yesterday on a podcast with a creator, with a content creator. And she was like, that's what the first thing she looked for in a client is for them to be kind. So it kind of just stuck with me until today. And I think that word describes you.
I needed to hear that today. That makes me feel, yes, I needed to, because that's really, I actually am intentional about that.
Yeah. I could tell you were.
Yeah. I want who I am, when it comes to me being on stage at an event, or, if I'm working with a client, or just talking to a friend, or talking to my daughter and my husband, I want to be the same person, consistent. And I think that's one thing that we're definitely missing sometimes in today's society is just consistency, treating everybody the same, no matter who they are, what they do, all of that.
You didn't know who I was, but you really were kind. And, that's the one thing I held on to. And I was like, I definitely want to hang out with this girl someday, or, even get you on a future podcast.
Girl, we need to get coffee.
And that's what I'm saying. And here you are. And I love that you have so many things going on. most of all, I love is that you have that work-life balance. Tell me how that is, because when I found out online you had a daughter, I was like, oh my gosh, she has a daughter.
Two.
Oh my God, you have two. Well, you're married too, so you tag team with your husband.
My third child. I'm joking.
What?
I'm joking.
Okay, yeah, she's joking.
My husband, if he hears that.
Well, I mean, but still, you're married, got 2 kids, and you're doing what you love. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're so self-aware, like you know you're alive, and this is one life, right?
Yeah. It's funny because I actually had a talk about this at the WOW conference earlier this year. I spoke on work-life balance, and one thing I actually said was, I don't believe that there is such thing as true work-life balance. I think there's just living life, living in your assignment, and you should create a life that is enjoyable in all facets, because then you won't feel the need to have that tug of war between work-life balance, right? It's just, there's one life that you have to live it well. So I would say when it comes to balancing kids as well as like husband family life, as well as like, you know, your friends, and then, you know, business life, there can be some overlap, and during certain seasons of your life, one is going to take priority over the other. Now, the family should always be first, right? But as far as like, you know, intimate relationships, personal things, right? Like, as you can see, I don't have my nails done, I don't have my lashes on. Like, my personal life as far as like I'm a little bougie, some things that I like to do, that's taking a dive right now, because I'm so hyper focused right now in regards to some of the things going on in the business realm. So sometimes, you know, it's give and take, but you have to just learn how to be even keel. And one thing my husband always says actually is, he's like, just keep living. Right. You know, when I feel like it's too much or overwhelming, just keep living. But you do need to have that time, though, when you are home, that you shut off your phone. That's one thing I'm trying to work on in practice, because, you know, I'll be at dinner and then, you know, I'll get a phone call that, like, you know, these are little things you definitely want to set up as far as boundaries. Right. But. Yeah. You seem like you know who you are, like, at this point in your life, you know, or you're over 30, right? I don't want you to say your age. I'm 30. Okay. Oh, you're 30? I am 30, like on the dot. 95.
Oh, wow.
95. Yeah. So 1995. So I turned 31 actually, like March 30th. Wow. Yeah. So last year was 30 on 30. It was like I had a midlife crisis.
Did you really?
Because I was like,
you know, a lot of people don't realize 30 is a midlife age, you know.
It can be. Most people think that it's a fourth of my life I want to keep living, but.
So what happened during this midlife crisis? Like,
there's so many things that I had on a list of what I wanted to accomplish when I was 30, and I would say I did not accomplish all of them. Okay. I accomplished some of them, but not all of them. Right. And so I'm a very check off things. And so I was like, I failed, you know, so just having to reset my mind in the fact that, hey, it's okay not to check off every single thing on your list. Yeah. I think that's one thing that really kind of set me into a downward spiral. But then it was like, I will say it was like a 45-minute downward spiral. Oh, like it wasn't like a whole day. I mean, then I was in Sedona, Arizona for my birthday. Oh, okay. So it was like in the morning. Right. Like it was like 45-minute. Like, I'm old.
Yeah, it is a mind shift, because you are kind of hard on yourself. But to get you out of that, what happened? Like, was it your husband? Was it, you know, something you read? Somebody talked to you? What happened?
Yeah. So we were in Sedona, and if you've been to Sedona, if you haven't been, I recommend it. It's a great like retreat spot. Just get away. We went on a hike that day. I was just in nature, in the air. My phone service barely worked, and I feel like just being able to connect with the earth, my husband, God, just the atmosphere. Look at the sky without you know, just being on the phone and being consumed with social media. Yeah. Being able to find a place of gratitude that day of, okay, God, like, I'm not entitled to be here at age 30. I could be gone. I've had people that I grew up with who are no longer living, right? Yeah. It's a blessing to still be here, which means that I still have work to do here on this earth. So I just went into the search of, like, hey, God, with me being now 30, what does that look like for me? Right. And what am I supposed to be doing? So I definitely left that trip with, like, certain assignments that God kind of downloaded into me. Yeah. but yeah, that was kind of, I was sad in the morning, but towards the evening I was more happy.
Oh, that's good. I feel like you have a lot of diversions in your life to snap you out of it. If you're, feeling down, like your kids probably come in and that's like a God reminder, like, hey, mommy, I love you or whatever, so, and that's a blessing,
Yes.
I feel like one of my main regrets is kids, but, looking at you, it's not too late. I still have hope, so kudos to you. And look, my advice, look at what you have. That's what I do. Look at what you have if you don't have anyone around, and try to find a reason to laugh every day too.
Right. And if you want to borrow my kids anytime, you can go.
Are we kidding about that too?
No. Oh, I will drop them here. What? But no, like with what you're saying, I totally agree. Just being able to, is cliche, but not see the glass as half empty. Yes. But also, knowing what you do have is very, very, very important.
Oh my God, yes.
Kids are the most, like, they will test you, and they will also show you more about yourself than you want to see. I think that sometimes as parents, our frustration is that, like, the kids will bring out sides of you that you didn't know still existed.
Yes.
And it makes you have to become refined.
Yeah.
And so, but they're definitely a blessing. 2 daughters, Indigo, Rose, and Lyric.
Oh,
Cole.
beautiful names.
Yes.
Wait, you said 2 or 3?
2.
Okay.
So 6-year-old Indigo, and then 3-year-old Lyric.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so what does the husband do?
Yes. So my husband, he is a manager.
Okay.
He works in the fitness industry.
Okay. All right.
And he is a former football player. So he played at Iowa State University. Go Cyclones.
Yeah.
He was like a star running back.
Awesome.
So I used to watch him.
Nice.
But I didn't know him yet. We didn't meet until after we both graduated. But I knew of him.
Right.
He didn't know me because I wasn't saying I was popular. But he was popular. So he was a football player. He's been in after football.
Yeah.
Went into, like, his degree was child adult family services. So he went into a lot of, like, nonprofit work and stuff with kids and all of that. And then he kind of more recently has been in the fitness industry. Okay. But he is an amazing vocalist and an artist.
That's what I was searching for. Yeah. I was like, where did the name Lyric come from?
Yeah, he's an artist. So we met doing music together. Okay. So, like, I actually right after college, went and pursued music.
Nice.
I went to school originally for music production. So you see, I was like, boom. Like,
yeah, I see that. Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And I sing as well. And he is a vocalist. He sings and he writes his amazing songwriter. Yeah. So we just were writing a song together. And I was in his music video. I was like one of the people in his music video. That was like the first time we met.
Oh, wow.
He reached out via DM, and then it was over since then. Yeah. So
how did he, like
8 years ago? Almost 8 years ago.
8 years ago? Mm-hmm. How did he pop the question?
Married, like engaged. So we were in like hill country area, and at this like very large resort in hill country, and me and my family went there with him, and it was Thanksgiving. So right after like Thanksgiving dinner, there was this light show, and we were walking through the light show, and then right in the center of it, he just like got down on one knee, and it was in front of like so many people.
And you did not know?
I didn't know.
Wow.
I had an inkling that like
it's coming up.
Yeah. I had an inkling, but then he proposed. So what's interesting though is that we already had like our first daughter together. Okay. So we already like had our first daughter, and then I was already pregnant with my second daughter. Oh. And so but for some reason we just like we did not want to get married. Like both of us, we didn't want to get married to, I don't know, like not to each other, just in life. Yeah. Those couples who are like, hey, we'll just do partner in life. Yeah. And that's coming from hurt, resentment, childhood upbringing, not seeing homes that are not broken. Gotcha. And so we understood the call on our life having to be married because that would break generational curses, because we were living in a generational curse at the time, right? Which is being out of wedlock, having children, all of these things. And we were very strongly convicted because we're both very strong in our faith. Like God is always at the center. Yeah. And I think that's important to know is like God, you can really have a true relationship with Christ, but still know that you're living in sin. And until he deals with you and convicts you.
Yeah.
And you want to change, you know. So we were both at that place where it was like God was really pulling on my heart, his heart. Okay, you know, we need to do something, like, because this is not good, right? And so he proposed, and I think it was too money, because at the time it was like we didn't have enough money to just have this whole big wedding and stuff, and he wanted to do it where it's like I would have the biggest ring and have a great wedding, grand wedding, and he couldn't like do all of those things. So I think there was like definitely delay on that. Yeah. But then we both got to the point where it's like I was like, you could give me a ring pop, like we're good. Oh, like, you know. So but being together, we're breaking generational curses currently from our family side, because like my parents are divorced, my parents are both remarried. None of my siblings from my mom's side or dad's side, like we're all from different, like my different parents, right? So like my mom and my stepdad remarried, they have two, my brother and sister. My dad has my other siblings, brothers and sisters, and I'm the only one from my mom and my dad. Wow. And then same thing for him. He's like the only child from his mom and his dad. The first thing in common. Well, one of the first things in common, right? Yeah. So we're breaking generational curses, because both of our kids from both of us, and you can see it because they are identical to us. I have little me, which is Lyric, and then little Trail, which is Indigo. So. Oh my God, I love it. I love that you have, you know, something to go home to, or someone to go home to at the end of the day. For someone single like myself, it's like, okay, I got my dog, you know, sometimes I forget, but I love a beautiful, you know, story. And speaking of a story, I want to know the beginning of your story. Like, how did Devin become who she is today? Like, as far as speaking, as far as being on stages, as far as the production company, as far as starting your own company, Girl Trip Society, which I'm about to sign up. I am. Yeah. And you reached out to me and you said you should sign up, and I was like, I need a tribe. I need a travel tribe. I really do. So how did it all start? Like the stage presence, you know, you grabbing the microphone. That started from being at home with, you know, those karaoke machines that you have where they're
you were that child.
Yeah, like,
because you were the only child for a while, right?
Yeah, I was the only child living in my home that my mother or father were not there consistently. So I actually had nannies or girlfriends of my dad at the time, like kind of helping with that process. My parents were divorced from a very young age. My mom remarried, and they ended up moving out of Iowa, which is where I lived at the time. And so I stayed with my dad in Iowa. So single father, Iowa. Yeah. In this Bahamian household, because my dad's from the Bahamas. So it's like this Caribbean household in the middle of Iowa. So I always say it started off weird already. But, you know, my dad is a Caribbean man at the time, you know, Kappa Alpha Psi, Nope.
I know that's right.
He, you know, had options. I'll leave it there. You can, you know what I'm saying? So I met all the options. I was there and I was meeting the options. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So a lot of, you know, he had like, you know, girlfriends at the time who would like help watch me for an extended period of time. Yeah. If that, you know, ended, then there would be like a nanny who would step in. There would be like nannies from the Bahamas who would come over. Also, like I did have time where my aunt stayed with me, who was from the Bahamas, came and moved over because my dad was a developer and is a developer, very successful developer. And so he had to travel a lot, like internationally and across the country. So it was a lot of me time, you know, so I had to find things to do. One thing I found was music. So I like grabbed the mic from being a young age, like doing concerts, like for whoever would hear me, like my nannies, my friends, when I would visit my mom and my stepdad, them. So I was like, I'm going to be a star. Like, I'm going to be a singer. I don't know. The microphone always was something that I
felt comfortable with.
Yeah. So I think, you know, that ventured into me just singing in church, like when I was younger, and leading songs and all of those things, and just getting comfortable with stage presence, and then getting involved in church when I was younger allowed me to like take the mic a lot, right? Because I would
Right.
either be singing or doing like announcements, those kind of things. And I
Right.
just loved talking to people.
Right.
And that's where it started, was a small town Iowa upbringing. And then, you know, I'm half white, half black. So I had this like identity crisis in the middle of Iowa too, because I'm like, okay, my black is Caribbean. So like I'm learning about the Caribbean culture and all of those things. And in Iowa, there's like 5 black people. So and
y'all was one of them.
Yeah, and we were one of them. So just kind of learning more of African American culture, it was something that was hard to do, like in Iowa. And then on the other side, like I wasn't living with my mom, who's Caucasian, so I wasn't like fully immersed. It was like this weird, so who are you? I had to figure that out. I wrote my college essay actually about I'm too white to be black, too black to be white, so I'm just gonna make my own race and call it Bright. Like that was kind of like a poem too.
Wait, you
right?
made that in college?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I wrote, like, that was my entry, like one of my entry essays.
That is so funny.
But I had to learn what it meant to be this like biracial woman, girl at the time, growing up in the middle of Iowa, small town Iowa, who had big dreams.
Right.
So I just found things to do, and I just was always somebody who loved to find a solution to things. So I think that's where the business side started coming in.
Yeah.
I had my first lemonade stand, you know, when I was
Oh
young,
my God, I love this.
I was doing P&L sheets with the lemonade stand, and in high school I like resold jeans, like, and I was like somebody that would resell things, and I just loved business.
Yeah. And I always say, you know, entrepreneurs are born. You know, you can make an entrepreneur, but if you're doing it, because I was doing the same thing, I was selling my Halloween candy.
Yes,
I was making the little bracelets, you know, the little friendship bracelets in the 3rd grade and selling them, not knowing even what the word entrepreneurship was. You are an entrepreneur.
Girl Scout cookies were my thing.
Hello?
That was my thing. I was ready to go.
Girl, the best in my tribe.
I was upselling.
Yeah.
I vividly have a vision. I remember me upselling cookies. Like, it was just a thing.
Oh
like,
my God. I love this.
Yeah.
I knew when I saw you, I was like, this girl, she's from my planet. Like, I feel like we're, you know, similar in a lot of ways. So,
definitely.
Yeah. I'm inspired. Yeah.
Oh,
continue.
thank you.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, Iowa. And then, you know, I ended up moving actually to Searcy, Arkansas, which is
okay. Another story.
Small. Nothing's there.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting, because that's when I found out, like, okay, you're like black, like you're a woman of color. Yeah. Because in Iowa, like,
no, say it. Yeah.
Sorry, Iowa, but white people, there's a lot of Iowans, they're like not even really racist. They're like, they don't know what they just don't know. Yeah. It's like ignorance. Yeah. Like the ones who would say things that are kind of like,
they only know what they've been trained or what they see, you know.
Exactly. So I was like, in African American history, everybody would be like, when they sit next to me, look at me, I'm like, y'all, I'm here with you. Yeah. I am trying to learn the same thing that you are learning right now. Right.
Yeah. Using you as a guinea pig.
Right. But then when I moved to Searcy, Arkansas, I realized that I am not white. That's exactly what I learned. And there was a group of girls. I played on the basketball team, and most of the basketball team was like African American. So that was the start of me learning, okay, African American culture. Yeah. Greens. Right. Yeah. Mac and cheese, all the things. And like watching the movie, they were like, we're going to start at the beginning. Here are the movies, Boys in the Hood. We're going to put it on.
Because you never watched all that growing up?
No. Wow. I didn't even know they existed.
But you lived, so you went back and forth with your dad and your mom, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but you mostly stayed with your dad?
In Iowa.
In Iowa. Okay.
Okay. So I went to the Bahamas. Now I had Bahamian culture, like Caribbean culture, right? But like African American culture is very different, right?
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
it's either Caribbean culture or like white Iowa culture. So those were the two that I was ready, like I knew. Wow. You see what I'm saying? So when I moved to Searcy, that was a wake up call for sure. I mean, they were talking like this, like it was a whole. I was. And mind you, even how I talk now, Dallas has softened, like, because I used to talk like this all the time, and I was like, oh my God, Like, this is
Right.
how I grew up.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I was supposed to talk.
Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
know? So, Cersei got me right. Moved to Dallas.
Well,
That got me
Dallas will
even more
definitely
right.
change you. The thing I love about Dallas is it's such a melting pot that nobody really who lives in Dallas is from Dallas. You know, I'm
Exactly.
from New Orleans, so I meet people from all over every day. I swear, it's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I just want to say this. You know, I feel you on the racial identity thing. You know, being a black woman and truly a black person who is no question I'm black. You know, it's hard for everyone. So how do you feel right now in your life? You know, like what's your identity? Like how do you look at yourself? Like I had a DJ in here. I don't know if you know DJ Mike, Mike B, DJ Mike B. He's a
I saw him on the flyer.
yeah. He's a well-known DJ. He just did the podcast a couple of days ago. And oh my God, so tall, but his features are amazing. And as a photographer, I'm like just staring at him. I'm like, I see German, I see, you know, Irish, I see freckles. How do you see yourself right now? I mean, are you forced to say one or the other?
On a form.
On a form. How do you
Government
feel? How do you
forms.
feel about that, Devin?
They need to change them because I feel like I'm lying every time. One time I was just
No,
my
really.
driver's license says I'm white Caucasian.
It did.
I just put it just to see if they
Yeah.
like. I just wanted to see like I put like every time I go to the driver's I just change it because I can only check one.
Right.
And because I feel like this is how as a biracial woman
Should that be an option? Biracial on there?
it should, and there are forms, you know, that allow
Right. Yeah.
for that, but for some reason some government forms haven't kept up. But right now, I mean, you have a melting pot in
Yeah.
the US,
Right.
right? And also all over the world.
Right,
Like, so I think there's first and foremost it's important to know race versus ethnicity because those are like two different things, and this is a whole course we can go through, which not on this podcast.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
First
Another
of all,
time.
if you're watching, very different race and ethnicity,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But I think as far as how culture identifies it, okay, Devin, are you black? Are you white? I'm neither, you know. I have family who are now African American. My husband's family, I mean, he's Florida.
He's what?
He's Florida.
Yeah.
He is straight, like from, as he would say, and I am from the crib. Like that is my husband. Like he is,
Right.
I mean, Johnson, that is his
Right.
last name. Like we are going,
Right.
you know? So, obviously I learned a lot from him as well, right? His family and.
So he's black.
He's black, like
Okay.
African American.
Right.
African American.
Yeah, no
black.
doubt.
Like
He's a
I
black
enjoy
man.
going
Yeah.
back to Florida and eating all the food. Like, so, but to your question, as far as I don't identify as either because I'm mixed. I'm
Yeah.
truly mixed. My mom is, Caucasian, Norwegian descent. My dad is straight from the Bahamas, like
Yeah.
Bahamian passport, right?
Yeah.
I also have joint citizenship, right? Like,
Oh,
with
that's
the Bahamas,
amazing.
right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, like I am Caribbean from roots. I identify with my Caribbean roots. I'm strong in them. I love the Bahamas. I love 242 shout out. And I from an African American perspective, my husband,
Yeah.
is straight, as he would say, from the crib. My two daughters
Yeah.
are, only 1/4 Caucasian.
Right.
And we're just like, I would say I just have this blend. But I think something that's more powerful for me to say this word, like say for me to say it impactful, like I think biracial kids, we have this same identity crisis for sure. But I think one thing that freed me from the crisis is just being okay with not having to fully identify with either, because everybody's lived experience is different. Because here's the thing, you might meet somebody who's biracial,
Right.
but they have never met one of their parents.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. Yeah.
See, this is where race and ethnicity is like,
yeah.
it's hard because like I've had biracial friends, not family, but friends who they have grown up in like one is like Macon, Georgia,
right?
Like,
right.
and all her family is African American,
Okay.
and you know, one of her parents is white,
Right.
are white, and they've never met them,
Right.
so they don't have that
Yeah.
lived experience. So I think even with biracial kids, as we're in the, it's hard because for me, my experiences, I would say definitely like a true 50-50 experience. You know, it's hard. It's lived experiences. I think we have to just accept and learn and ask these questions of others' lived experiences because but we be getting it like light skins and like light skins and we be getting it like
the brights be getting it
the moment we try to identify what I will never. The one time I tried,
right,
I am a woman of color. I will never, because the one time I tried, I'm a black woman. You are not. Yes, ma'am. I understand. They came at me.
Right.
I said, understood. I get it.
Right.
You see what I'm
Do
saying?
you get the I know like when I'm out in the public, especially like in this neighborhood right here, which is kind of like it's like 60% white, 40% black, or I guess I don't know, 35 and then 5% other. The black people like is, hey, how you doing? Hey, do you get the head nod like how you doing? You know, from black people. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I practice my head nod.
I have to tell you something. You gotta. You so silly. I'll teach you later. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm just kidding. So this is something I've been struggling with in the last maybe 10 years, like probably all my life. I do not like being called black. Black is so condescending. And I know that's a whole nother subject. I just wanted that to kind of also marinate. No, I will definitely have a panel of people to talk about that, and I'll call you and see if you have time to discuss it, because I think it was placed on us just because it's so, like I said, demeaning. You know, everything in the dictionary associated with black is negative. And I'm like, why are we called black? You know, and so if you go to ChatGPT, it says we're called black because, you know, we don't have any history and all that kind of stuff. And it's horrible. What? It's almost like we don't exist, you know, at all. You know? So
and history books don't say anything.
No, it don't. Yeah.
Like and I think that, again, the difference between race and ethnicity.
Yeah.
Ethnicity, for me, I'm cool with, because if you dive into ethnicity, it's like, me saying Bahamian, Norwegian, like these are facts, right? When you get into race, it's like black, white, other.
Yeah,
like, it's very just
why
non-Latino, whatever.
Exactly.
Latino, and I'm just like, so I think too, one thing, and I've done a lot like in the black community. I mean, if you've seen like my events or like those who I serve, I dabble a lot like in that community. And so, and I love, and I say it's my community because I just be in the community. I'm there. Like
you are the community.
And I'm there fighting for the community. And so I think one thing that is important is that we recognize within the, and forgive me for those watching online, I am not a history teacher. I am not an African American studies teacher, but you know, there's the black diaspora, right? And African diaspora. And like within that, you have different segments, right? You have like Caribbean, you have Afro Latina, you have African within African. There's like tens of
honestly, everything comes from Africa when you really go to the root of everything. You know, that's why they call it the motherland, the birth of the human race. Right. You know,
and I think one thing that's so cool is that, you know, over time as black individuals were placed within different parts of like the world, there's an adaptation to that culture, right? Because like I met a lot of Afro Latinas, and they're super proud of like I am Latina, like, you know what I mean,
right?
So I think that's Girls Trip Society. That's kind of why like I even formed Girls Trip Society, was because I think it's important that we learn more from others who are around the world or coming from different cultures and lived experiences. It goes back to everything I was saying. My lived experience is not the same as somebody else's lived experiences. Your lived experience as a black woman is not the same as another.
Definitely not.
You know, because there's 100% African American women who grew up with all white families.
Yeah.
Your lived experience is going to be completely different, right? But does that mean that she's less of a black woman?
No, not at all.
But others would say it would. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's 100%. Where it's like it gets dicey, and I think that if we can just be
more sympathetic.
Yeah, but also
empathetic,
strong in like who we are, know our character, know our identity. We have to take hold of our identity. Who am I?
Right.
And I am who God says I am.
Right,
hey,
exactly.
I am beautiful. I am loved.
Right.
I am chosen.
Only you can put a label on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lived experiences.
Yeah.
We have to be able to be able to listen. Because do you see on social media, it's like somebody's like, oh, you're not black enough, or you're too white, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody who is fully white grows up in a all black household,
right?
Like,
yeah,
it's like you're not good enough, and it's like, bro, that girl probably lived more than me.
Yeah,
and
I mean, what makes you black enough? That's what I want to know. Like, really.
It goes back to what is African American culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I really love about some of the projects and work that I'm on is that I'm working with groups who are rewriting that narrative.
Yeah.
And not rewriting it, but rather like just writing it.
Right.
Writing it down.
Right.
You know, and creating experiences for like African American history.
I mean, rewrite is also right too. I would say, because you know, we kind of have to make sure the narratives stay where it should be. You know, because they keep trying to change it. Like right now, trying to get rid of all the history books. You know, so
exactly, we have to know our history, know where we came from, and also know what is and is not important.
Right, exactly.
You know? So
I just found out I'm like 64% Nigerian, so I'm extremely happy about that. So
I'm 17%. I found out.
Really? Yeah.
So
I'm extremely happy about that. It took almost a year to get those results, but I got them from 23andMe. I think that's what it is. But you mentioned Girls Trip Society. I want to go ahead and segue into that. Like, tell me about how that got started.
Yeah. So Girls Trip Society. From this
right here. Oh wow.
Well, one of the things, because I love learning about other women's lived experiences, and a lot of that comes from the cultures that they were raised from or grew up in. I have friends who are Nigerian, who are, you know, Filipino, who are Russian, who are from the UK, from the Caribbean, and growing up in Iowa. There was a lot of international students and student families. So I would always like cling to the groups of friends that were coming from international students.
Okay. Why so?
I don't know. Like, my dad always hung out with their parents, but it made sense because he was an international student.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I was always intrigued. Like, one of my best friends was from Turkey, but this is straight from off the plane.
Wow.
Turkey. We went to Iowa.
What's a Turkey accent? I mean,
Turkish. I
Turkish,
can't even remember, but the food is good. That's
all
is
it really?
The food is amazing. I've been to Istanbul. I've been to Turkey. It's so beautiful. Obviously, I wouldn't go right now with the Middle East stuff, even though nothing's happening with them. But I wouldn't be on a plane anywhere right now. But with that being said, I loved learning about other women's lived experiences, right? And also, on the flip side of that, I worked in leadership at Yummy Extensions, which is a
Yummy Extensions. Is that a hair
company?
Oh wow!
Yeah, a beauty and hair company. So
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I was like I was formerly in leadership, and also like worked right under the CEO, implementing a lot of different things, and worked on like some amazing large scale campaigns, and loved working with women, because that's what we were. We had retail stores, online stores, all of that. So I had to work with women every day, all day. And that's where I became like a really big girl's girl.
Nice.
And so kind of meshing those two, lived experiences as well as events, right? Because I'm an event producer. So producing events for a lot of other people, there's things that, you know, I couldn't necessarily implement because, you know, I'm working with a client. Yeah. So this was the opportunity for me to be able to implement my own things. Right. So it was just a random vision I got at like 2 a.m.
Wow.
And here we have Girls Trip Society, and I wanted to be able to give back to women too.
Yeah.
So through our initiatives, we're also able to give back grants as well as scholarships. So that
Beautiful.
program is like in the works, kicking off. We did give away a $10,000 grant already to women in business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just being able to pour into women.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you were asking me in the beginning of like where did Devin come from, like how this, you know, I wasn't with my mom every single day. My mom is an amazing woman. Yeah, love her. I get to see her now every week because she lives in Dallas, right? Nice. But I didn't see her every day growing up. Right. So I was around like men or like women who were in and out, right? Yeah. And my dad is fire and brimstone, so my name is Devin. Like I was raised to be a man. Like I really was. Like I had to learn how to be a girl's girl or like ladylike.
Do you feel like you force yourself to be more ladylike because your dad embedded that masculinity in your DNA a little? Because I feel like that. You know, okay, so this is my story. Like I used to get called, and I'm not trying to be not condescending, but I'm not trying to I don't even know the word, but you know, I used to get called pretty all the time, like pretty. So I used to downplay myself. I heard Holly Berry say that one time, that she got called so pretty that she really just tried to just, you know, dress really natural. So I kind of geared towards like more masculine things, you know, like I got into a masculine industry like photography. What else? Transportation is all male dominated. And like if I'm here by myself, I'm in sweats all day, you know. I don't like putting on makeup. I don't like doing my hair, you know. But I do like having it done to me because I love that transformation. So I do feel in a way that I am a little more masculine than feminine. So is that your story, or are you like?
Girl, yes.
Is it really? Do you fight with it all the time, or
every day? And my husband does too.
Really?
Because
wait, what do you mean he fight with it? Oh, he fight with trying to get you to be more girly.
Like be a woman. Like pipe down. Because yeah, like I was raised by.
I knew you was from my planet. I knew you was from my planet.
Man, like
yeah, all
of these, I can pop off.
Yeah,
but in a very
my god,
manly.
Oh my god,
way.
yes. Like
you know how there was women in school when they would like fight women. I fought men.
What? Okay, I wouldn't go there, but I did fight a lot.
I was in wrestling.
Yeah,
I was like the one female in wrestling.
Seriously?
Like, but not just wrestling. Like I've only been in a few hand select fights in life.
How many people know this about you? Like is this a reveal story? This is fascinating.
People don't know. There's a few people like Reagan. If she watched this, she was right. I've fought men. Like men good. Bigger than me.
Oh my god!
Like where I had to have other men take me
right. I can literally see you walking down the street with your husband and something happened and you like stand to the side to your husband. Oh my god! Don't tell me that happened.
No, it won't. He won't allow that to happen. My husband is like
he's a protector.
He's I think it's God really put us together intentionally because he knows that I have like strong, like unfortunate, like masculine-ish energy sometimes. Yeah. Like he knows when to assert dominance and when to pull back because if it's in like a creativity space or entrepreneurship space, he doesn't feel the need to step in, right? Because like, babe, that's your space.
He know you
like,
got it.
You got it. Yeah. Now I will call 189 husband, like if somebody, you know, before I, you know, really pop
189 husband. I'm gonna start calling out one.
Yeah. But so he knows how to assert dominance or pull back.
Yeah.
And I think women like us, like we need somebody who supports us, who doesn't feel like they're in competition. Because I think a lot of women who have this like masculine go-getter, ambitious like type energy. Yeah. We need men who are okay with not always having to
compete with you,
compete or be in the spotlight. Like we stand together as a team. I feel like relationships, marriages that have not worked in this dynamic, it's because you have two people who are competing together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was raised to be a man. I'm glad that I was not. I'm glad that I'm here.
Wow.
I'm a girl's girl. I like my lashes. I'm bougie. I like my nails done.
Well, you look amazing. So, and I didn't even notice the lashes. Sometimes I have to remember to put on the mascara because I don't like the lashes. Like as soon as I get them done or I have to go somewhere, I take them off. Like it feels weird, so unnatural. But one of the reasons why I did ask you here is because of this particular thing I saw online that you participated in. You looking
there? Like, what did I do?
I knew you was gonna do that.
What did I do?
No. I'm telling you, it was so inspiring, and it actually just played into my to life, what's going on right now in my life. And so I wanted this to be the beginning of the topic, but I was like, no, I want to see, what's it's nothing bad, Devin, I promise you.
Like, what did I do online?
No. You're going to be
kidding.
so proud of yourself when you see this. Like, I was like, I've got to have her on the show. And I think this was the thing that prompted me to call you. Like, yeah.
I have hurt people without wanting to intentionally hurt them. Now, if people cut me off and I don't understand and I don't seek understanding of like what happened here, then I can't receive the wisdom it takes for me to grow. So, sometimes it's not that people want to hurt you. I feel like it's important that we recognize that not everybody is set out to be your op or your.
Yeah. So you remember the rest of that?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you put that out into the universe because like I'm actually dealing with every time I try to do something that takes me to the glass ceiling and I'm trying to hit the next glass ceiling, I lose people. And
girl, what? I already know.
I lose people.
I already know.
And it's not me trying to be better than anybody else, but it's me trying to be better than myself. And so you feel alone, sometime. And so I kind of, I guess, brought you in to kind of see your take where you was coming from with this, because I did train myself for this journey. Like I listened to a lot of motivational people like yourself, love how you were on the stage at Wow. Yeah. So the reason why I really wanted you here was because of this video, which inspired me so much. Recently I started doing a podcast. And it almost felt like life was repeating itself where some friends wanted to do a podcast with me. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And I just let them know the expectations of, me having experience, and them not having any experience on what I wanted them to do. They told me I was the blueprint since I've been doing this for a while. I'm like, okay, cool. If I'm the blueprint, then I need you guys to go out and create your own brand. And it was like, what do you mean? I said, I need you guys to learn social media. Go out and start talking about things that you love. So if we are going to come together and have a podcast, then it's divide and conquer. And then you'll have the experience. Because it's a lot behind the scenes. You know this as an event organizer. It's a lot behind the scenes. So just imagine you're setting all these lights, camera, and then when action comes, you got to play the host and you're exhausted. And, your partners just walk in and they just sit down. That's their only job. I'm like, no. You guys need to learn what it's like to be in the podcast world. Because, I'm not doing this. I do it for fun and I do it for some selfish reasons. I'm not going to lie, because it is kind of like a therapy session, talking to people, because it helps me mentally. But I'm doing this because it's leverage for my business. It gets me out there. When people look up TamCam or Tamyra Campbell, they're looking up someone who they want to work with or someone who they trust or they want to trust or do business with. So it's giving me credibility. Les Brown taught me a long time ago that you got to put people in different categories. Like you got your gym friends. All you talk about is working out, eating good, and all that kind of stuff. You got your podcast friends where you talk about, okay, how many guests you had and the lights and what kind of camera you're using. Then you got your church friends. All you talk about is praise the Lord and all that kind of stuff. So I've learned to put everyone in different categories. And if those two categories, kind of overlap, then consider yourself lucky. But you can't expect everybody to be everything to you. I really admire that you said that you have you're very consistent with who you are, because I find for me, I'm a different version no matter who I'm in front of. You know what I mean? Like you'll probably see a different version of me, after this podcast, but this is me, but it's another version of me, not any better or not any less. It's just another.
Polished.
Yeah. It's a polished version. So I do believe that people can grow, but I'm the person, if you look at, some of my content, I'm the person that meets you at your potential. And I always use this example. I meet you at your potential. I don't bring you to your potential because it's exhausting. And that's why I resonated with that. I meet you at your potential, and then we can go together. You can't run before you walk, yeah. So it's step by step. You can't go to college before elementary. Like you gotta take the steps. So, in your truthful way that I know you're gonna lay it down. I mean, tell me, what you think about that. I mean, and tell me where you were coming from with this. You don't have to give me specifics.
No. So with that clip, where I was coming from was throughout different seasons of my life. More recently, I would say I have been on a crash course. God has had me on a crash course. I don't know, like typically things that are catastrophic or traumatic or super high highs, super low lows, where they would be staggered and spread out throughout different seasons and different years of your life. I don't know, within the past 2-3 years, I've experienced them all, right? And within that, the same person that people expected me or knew me to be before those seasons where there's just trials, tribulations, and oh my gosh, super high, trials, tribulations, super high.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster, and I learned that some can't stay on the roller coaster because they get sick, because the motion is too much. And it's one of those things where I don't want to have a hard heart towards people just because they can't withstand the pressure or they can't withstand the queasiness that comes with going up super high at the altitude and then going super low and then having to still be even keel. Some people are not built that way. It's something that only certain individuals are like anointed by the grace of God to literally be able to withstand. And we can't get mad at others for jumping off the roller coaster because it was too high of an altitude.
It was their stop.
Exactly. And I think that when our generation, we go through these times where people are trying to get off on our stop, we think that, they're an enemy, they're an op, they don't want us to go to the top, all these things, bop, bop, bop.
Yeah.
I like to rhyme. It's not always that. People don't always have a malicious heart towards you. Yeah. It's more about them than it is about you. I think burning bridges is something that I've never set out to do. There's times where distance is created between people, but burning bridges isn't something that I'm a fan of. And so that's kind of where that clip comes from the heart posture of just like, hey, I can also accept responsibility where some people's roller coaster, I needed to get off.
Yeah.
It wasn't something, I don't have a problem with this ride. I don't have a problem with the ride for you, but this ride is not a ride I can be on.
Right, exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, but when you get off, and when I've gotten off on some of those rides, you get anger or offense, and it's like, hey, it's not that I don't support you on this ride. This is just not the ride that I can be on. I'm going to go around the corner to the other ride that I think is for me. This one is not the same. It's like when you go to Disney World, notice everybody's like, okay, what ride you want to go on? Not everybody's answer is the same. Right? Yeah. So I think we just have to have a even keel heart posture, knowing that everybody's ride is going to be different.
Yes.
Also, taking it a step further, I've heard this before, but when there is an airplane flying in the sky, and it starts going down, they say to put your mask on before assisting others.
I thought about that before you came. I thought about that. Yeah.
And so sometimes in certain seasons, it may not be a season where you can pour into everybody like how you were able to do it in the past. And some people are not comfortable with this version of you that can't pour. Right. Because they are a reservoir, not a river. They can't flow back to you and fill your cup. Right. So some people are just living reservoirs. Yeah. That's a statement. And if you are one, or you don't know if you're one, take the test and figure it out, because it's not good to be a living reservoir where you just let people pour into you, and you don't pour back into others. You want to be a river, not a reservoir, right? And so that's where that comes from, is just being able to not have a hardened heart towards people, because if Jesus, and I'm again not trying to over spiritualize, but if they could do what they did to him, and he just, takes no account, who am I? Who am I to judge somebody? Or now, I'm a human. I'm gonna be offended. But like, it's my job to like cancel out that spirit of offense right away. Like in love my neighbor. What does that even mean? Like, what does love mean? I need to love everyone. So
even those who persecute you.
Even those who persecute you. Actually, it says that he'll prepare a table, in front of my enemies, and I talked about that right there, because we like to take that sentence, that statement as like, well, since they weren't here for me, I'm gonna go ahead. God's gonna prepare a table in front of my enemies, and you gonna sit at the table and see. You just gonna see what God is gonna do for me. That's not, do you think that is the heart posture that he wants you to have? God is not a petty God.
No, he's not.
So if he's not petty, why would you say it like that? Why do you think that he's gonna act on it from, if your heart is petty? Who he's gonna do that for is those who still go back and love those same people who offend them.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And also, he's not doing that for you.
Yeah.
He's doing that for the glory of his kingdom and whatever he needs to happen through you.
Absolutely.
And put you in a position so things can happen on behalf of his kingdom. It's not for you anyway.
Yeah.
So if he does prepare a table, you better keep humble. Pride comes before the fall. Because you see a lot of people where God has done amazing things in their life. Right. And God has elevated them. And God has put the same people who cast stones at them in the front lines to watch them succeed. And then guess what happened to those same people? They turn right back around and start getting prideful and start doing self-reference, thinking that, hey, I did this. I.
Yeah.
The moment, guys, that you start doing self-reference and saying man, I got into my own season of me trying to say I. Yeah. When I tell you everything I said I to got taken away. Yeah. What?
Yeah. And there's a difference between I and I am, right? I and I am. Like, I feel like when you say I am, like God said, I am this, I am that, I remember when somebody gave this example of Moses going to the bush, and I don't know a lot about the Bible, but I love this story that somebody told me. And the burning bush, gave him some advice and said, why tell people that I am that I am? And he was like, what does that mean? And then when the guy broke it down, I guess in modern terms, he said, I am that I am that, meaning I'm that mirror, I'm that light, I'm that. Like, God lives in everything. There's energy in everything. I am that. And I remember like listening to, that, and it made me feel like connected, like really connected, because I truly believe God lives in me. I'm not a part of a church. I went to church last week and I did feel connected.
Ooh, come to my church.
Oh, which one is it?
The Life Center, Texas. Sorry,
okay, cool.
Plug.
I love that. Any opportunity to like bring somebody in, I love that. Girl, I'm just learning so many layers. But yeah, so I mean, when I heard that I am that, I'm like, wow, you know what? I feel like I can do anything, because if God lives in me, then, if I have an idea to do something or want to be something, then I know it's going to come into fruition because it was given to me, so that is like what I get from. And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I guess I go to some of these churches that they're so big that I miss the message over the yelling, and that's the black side. It's the black side. And so I just, I don't know, like for me, I love a straight modern message, that pertains to, okay, where do God want me in this time of my life? And, I'm so blessed to be in my position, because like I said before, and like I said about you, I know for you are self-aware. Like, I feel like when I watch you online, you know that this is the only life, unless there's life that I don't remember. You know, and you know, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, you know, in his name, you know. And I'm very conscious, like every morning I get up, thank you God, thank you God, thank you God that I'm able to do what I need to do on my term, you know, buying back my time and my freedom, you know. And I'm just like you know, so don't be so hard on yourself, you know. And I think a lot of people are, you know, we do regret some of the things that we didn't get in life, you know. And so, you know, but like I said, the advice I was given is when you reflect on where you were 5 years ago, or even 2 years ago, or even last year, you're like, damn, I've come a long way, you know. So give yourself some credit and grace, and that's what I do. Yeah.
No, I love what you're saying. I think going back to the I am, so he told Moses, I am that I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's when Moses asked God, like, basically he was in the burning bush.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yeah.
Moses in Ebonics was like, what's going on here? I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Right.
And the Spirit of the Lord, it said, I am that I am.
I am that I am. It's confusing when you don't break it down.
Yeah. I am that I am. So the way that I interpret that is I am everything that you need. It says that I have never seen a righteous man forsaken or a seed begging bread. Everything that you need, he will supply.
Yes.
And that is what he is saying is I am that I am. So if you need a father, if you need peace, if you need even food for the day, it says in the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread.
Not
Not tomorrow's bread.
Not yesterday's
bread. Not 7 weeks.
Daily.
7 years from now bread. But give us our daily bread.
Yeah.
My mentors really broke this down for me. And he is our daily bread. I am the living water. When he says that, again, water. What does living water do? It doesn't stay still. It flows, right? Yeah. And so we're meant to flow.
And life comes from water.
We are creators of the earth. And we were formed by the greatest creator of all time. So we think that self-reference is this, right? We think that I can do anything I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Right.
Read the whole chapter. read where the scripture is coming from. Right. And I think that we even use scripture today for self-reference.
Yeah.
Because we want to make it about us. Yeah. And I think once we as humans get to the place where we realize this is not about us, and I think that's what gives me peace and allows me to stay consistent in my character, in who I am. Yeah. Is that it's not about me. Yeah. I am here. I am on a mission. Like I am on a mission, an assignment that I have to complete because Dr. Miles Monroe, Bahamian 242, said this. He said that the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's because we don't finish the assignment that God has for us
or even
in our
act
life.
upon it. Yeah.
Right. So even those who do not believe, there's still an assignment that you were born with an assignment. Yeah. Right. Whether you complete it or not, we don't know. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that's one of my greatest fears is not completing that assignment. And also, like that verse is just so beautiful. I am that I am.
It is.
Like,
it is.
You know, he's everything that you need. Yeah. That's literally it. And you don't really fully understand the gravitas of that statement until you actually live it. And I have seen a bottom that I don't ever want to see again. And I know that there's a further bottom. I'm doing my everything.
But it makes you humble. That bottom was necessary to make you the person you are. Because I think a lot of people do take it for granted, you know, that there are people who are living under the bridge and people who don't have food every, you know, day to eat, you know, only because, I don't know, it's just these illnesses has affected their mind. So you gotta be aware that you have it so much better than the next person in so many ways, even on your worst day.
And you know what they're missing?
What's that?
People. So here's the thing. It's like easy for us to say as humans. It's easiest for us to try to like soothe ourselves saying, well, at least, you know, I'm not living under a bridge, or at least I'm, you know, I live, you know, I have to pay all this rent, but at least I have a place to stay. Right. Like that's us tricking ourselves out of finding the true source of joy. Because here's the thing. I've met homeless people who are far more joyful and happy.
Oh yeah.
Than, you know, a billionaire living in a mansion.
Oh yeah.
Of who one I know who literally committed suicide and died in depression with all of the riches of the world, right? And so woe is the person and individual, woe to the individual who believes that money, fame, power, exposure, all of these things are going to make them happy, because it's not.
Right.
It's not. I've met a lot of celebrities. I've met a lot of high net worth individuals.
Right.
And man,
I know. Yeah.
Like,
It's sad.
but I've also met ones, they either got it or they don't.
Right.
Like mentally. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
either
Right.
in a joyful place, and
Right.
the ones who are in a joyful place,
Right.
like they say everything consistently amongst themselves. And also when I've interviewed them individually, it's like, hey, none of this matters.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
so we literally have at our fingertips to know that material things are just like extra. They make us feel good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For a moment.
For a moment. It's fleeting, right?
People don't. Yeah. It is very fleeting.
So find joy. Like, I urge people to find joy, not happiness. And that's something that even over the year of 2025, I've been trying to find.
Yeah.
Because 2025 was really hard for me. I was in a very, even though a lot of big things were happening in my life, I actually had different bouts of depression, right? And it was hard for me to find joy and get back to center.
Yeah.
And one thing that I did to get back to center was, again, putting effort and time into the things that I knew God assigned me to do, which is like, okay, be with my family, put all my effort into being a mom, put all my effort into being a wife.
Right.
Go ahead and, you know, invest and put resources into building other individuals, right?
Yeah.
And also making time for me, to read, to reflect, to relax. Like, we're talking as I'm just now getting over, like, you know, a bout of, you know, just stuff that was not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So glad you made it over.
Yeah. No. Like, I'm good right now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I can say this coming out the other end of it. My pastor, actually, Siobhan Smith, she's super dope. So look her up on the Life Center, Texas. You're going to be there next on Sunday.
Yeah.
But small church, right? Like, just started a year ago. But she just had a message actually talking about refinement, right? And why sometimes we feel like we're being put in a fire.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because I knew that message was for me, because I had a friend who prays for me and all of those things. And we talked, and she was like, hey, Devin, God told me that I'm supposed to stand in this fire with you. And I didn't know what that meant a few months ago, but then I knew what it meant by the end of 3 months.
Yeah.
But then I listened to the message, and she was talking about when a metal worker, right, is making the metal, and he puts it into like the furnace,
Right.
I'm gonna butcher this, but puts it into the furnace, right? The impurities start to melt away.
Okay. Yeah.
And they keep putting it back into the fire, take it out, back in the fire, take it out, until like the craftsman can see the reflection.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, that is what God does to us, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like he puts us into the fire.
He puts us in a
sometimes.
difficult situation so we can see ourselves.
He'll allow for things to happen in our lives that seem like, okay, God, if you're real, why is this happening to me right now? It's because your character has not been built to the point where it can withstand the altitude that I'm trying to bring you to.
I love the struggles. I don't know why people don't realize the struggles are where the lessons are. Like, I feel like, and it builds characters, and it pulls out those, or peels back those layers. I don't know if that even makes sense, but for me, it's just always been what I've realized in my life. Like, the good things that happen is good for a while. It's like getting a shiny new object or whatever, a camera in my case. But then it fades away. The lessons stay with you, and then you get so many little gems out of it. Nobody wants to go through bad times, but I'm learning, and I guess I've trained myself to really embrace difficult times and understand why. I have a lot of time on my hand, sometimes, being a single woman, because I've created this lifestyle. But that's the one thing I've learned, to just really understand and embrace the struggles, and I know that may be cliche as well, but that's been my story.
People need to hear that. I think that the more we can remain even keel,
yeah,
for better term,
yes,
and calm,
yes, because everything's not always going to be so good. For some people it may, that's the lifestyle you may have been born in, right? Where everything was given to you or whatever, but when you do have those struggles, it does kind of balance you out and be like, whoa,
And we ask ourselves, okay, what can we learn from the struggle, from the situation?
Yeah.
Like, what is God trying to teach us in that?
Right.
Every time I've gone through fires or really low points, I've always come out the other side. Knowing that, okay, this has built on my character.
Right.
I can say that I'm a better person through going through this.
Yeah.
Going back to people
Yeah.
earlier in the conversation when we're talking about refinement, sometimes when you're in the fire, those who can't withstand the heat are going to be melted away.
Yeah.
In the fire. Like, and you come back out the fire and you're refined, and you come out gold. So, we can't get attached to, like, we can't, we have to.
Have you ever read The Power of Now?
I haven't read it, but I think I started it once, but I never finished.
Try the audio, if you drive a lot, and everybody in Dallas drives a lot, but it's life-changing. Oh my God, life-changing. Oh my God. Even the audio book more so, because you can hear everything he's saying, and he got these little chimes in the background. Like in The Power of Now, meaning there's nothing that matters the most than this moment right here. This is where you're the most happiest. If you start thinking about what happened last year or last week or yesterday, then that's when you start, getting like, you got to think about what you got to do tomorrow. You start getting like, but now this is the happy place right here. You know what I mean? I love that.
Learning how to be present.
Yes. I mean, I studied that book so much. I remember he was on one chapter and I was driving and I was so present that everything I have learned in the past about driving, I had forgot like that. And I was like, whoa, like I had brainwashed myself in that moment for like maybe 2 or 3 seconds. I had all those lessons of driving had to come back in my mind. I was like, wow, I was that present. Just like, wow, I'm feeling the steering wheel. Wow, the air's blowing on my face. Wow, the light's about to change. The light changed. Then I had to go. Yeah, I swear that book is life-changing. I love it.
I'm gonna have to read it.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
But okay, so I know you gotta go. You got a busy day. So Devin, tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes. At you with the you won't but Dev will on Instagram, all social media platforms, as well as Girls Trip Society on all social media platforms. I think that's all you can find me on. Yeah, let's do that. That's how you can find me.
Yeah,
yes.
Awesome. So what's for the future right now? Like what's your next year plan?
Yes, right now working on some major music festivals.
Ooh.
I can't name for NBA purposes,
but my God.
Some ones that you guys already know exist. So I'll be working on some.
I'm about to guess.
Major. I can't say.
Or is it a well-known person in Dallas?
No, these are like one of the festivals are in Dallas, but it's a festival that is a name that people know.
Okay.
Can't say anymore, but you'll see.
Okay.
So some festivals, as well as I have been working on a little bit of music, but I don't know if I'm ever going to drop it. So
no,
we'll see. If I drop it, it will be under my AI character that you don't know. I'm joking. By the way.
Well, hey, I'm joking, but not joking because, hey, AI is taking off.
I might have to do it.
Do it, girl.
But yeah, concerts, festivals, been working on that. And then also Girls Trip Society, we're going on different trips.
Nice.
Traveling our...
Where to next?
We are going to Bali.
Yes, I did see
we're
that.
working on a trip
Did
to
see that.
Greece. We're going to the Bahamas. And then also we have our nonprofit that launched. So more
Beautiful.
to come on that. So
Love it. Love
that's
it.
everything we got going on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Devin, for being my guest. And guys, if you want to be a guest, contact me at alwaystamcam@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Always TamCam. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God.